You guys asked me some questions. Here are the answers. If family and in-laws do not approve of your child-free choice as a couple, how do you think one should behave? I know it's a personal choice and everyone should be respected, but how would you react if this was the case for you? If you feel like people are being disrespectful towards you and the choice that you've made, you can't do anything to change their minds or to make them behave differently or not say the things that they're saying. But what you can do is have some boundaries in place so that you can kind of protect yourself. Obviously, boundaries are going to look different for everybody, and you get to decide what those boundaries are going to look like for you and your family. Are people going to be annoyed that you set up boundaries? Oh yeah, but sometimes it's very necessary. What do you think of other child-free social media accounts? I love them. I'm creeping on them all the time. I mean, basically it's YouTube and Instagram. And then I do like some stuff on Facebook. I'm not on TikTok. What is one thing that people get wrong about you? Oh, this is a good question. All right. So I'm kind of snobby or standoffish. And I understand why people think that and why people have said that to me because I'm really private. So when I meet people, it's not that I'm not friendly to them. I'm kind of uncomfortable around new people. And so sometimes I think that comes across as me not wanting to interact with people. It takes me quite a while to kind of like warm up and then open up to people. How are you and Michael doing? We're doing very good. We've had a very, very busy summer, so I'm definitely looking forward to fall and winter because things tend to be a little bit less busy. Although actually our September's like insanely busy, so maybe October will be better. How are your cats? Could you tell us a bit about them, their age, their personality, how you got them? You are allowed to be in my filming room for just a couple of minutes because people want to know about you. What do you think about that? This is Caesar. He is 5 years old. He's a cross between a Siamese and a tabby cat. I can't even tell you how often he wants to come in here, and the one time I let him come in here to help me film, he's completely uncooperative. Do you have anything to say about your attitude today? He was actually supposed to be my niece's cat. She wanted a playmate for the cat that she already had, and they did not get along. So she called me up and was like, hey, could you babysit him until I find a new home for him? And I was like, sure. I didn't actually want another cat because our cat had just died not that long ago, and I was traumatized from it still because I watched him die and it was horrible. But I picked him up and we had him for a few hours, and Michael saw him and was like, oh my goodness, we need to keep him. He's so cute. Oh man, this cat is such a shedder. There's like hair everywhere. Can you guys hear him purring? He's purring like the softest that he's ever purred. He can purr louder than that. He's 13 pounds, he loves his sister, he loves to eat, and he loves chewing cords and cables, which is what he wants to do right now, so I'm gonna go put him out. Say goodbye to the people. This is another reason why he's not allowed in here. He gets hair everywhere. We also have Layla, our panther cat, but she's napping. She's so delicate and so cute. She is the typical cat. When people come over, she disappears. She decides when she gets pets. She has the best purr of any cat I've ever known and incredible balance. They were from the same litter, and once we decided to keep Caesar, I really wanted a second cat because the first cat we had didn't have a brother or sister, and I think he got really lonely. So we found out there was a little black kitten left that nobody wanted. And I was like, I will take the black kitten. I am not superstitious. So we got her, and oh, they just love each other so much. I mean, they sometimes fight, but I think siblings do that. So I love our cats so much. I still feel like I am like covered in cat fur. And speaking of cats, that leads me into the next question. What is one of the weirdest things someone has ever said to you because you're child-free? Your cats are going to eat your body when you die. Have you heard of the new child-free social media app? What are your thoughts? Anything that is going to get people to talk about the child-free choice and help normalize it, I am all for. Are you and Michael looking forward to winter? Oh yes, we love winter. Winter is my absolute favorite season ever. And I know a lot of people don't like winter because like the darkness and the kind of dreariness and the gloominess. I feel like I thrive in winter, like I come alive in winter. And Michael has officially pulled out his fall/winter sweater. His aunt knit this for him and he wears it like all the time. When Michael starts wearing that sweater again, it is like fall season in our house and I couldn't be more excited. Did you plan on getting pets together? I grew up with all sorts of animals: dogs, cats, fish, gerbils, rabbits, birds, mice. Yes, my sister had pet mice. She kept them in a giant aquarium. My parents were very generous in letting us have all sorts of animals when we were growing up, and Michael had never had really any pets before. I think he had like gerbils and they had them for like 2 weeks and then took them to the park and let them go because he and his brother didn't like them and they thought they smelled bad. So I was a little worried for any pet we might get. Michael picked out our first cat, Jeeves, and that was definitely Michael's cat. I live in a rural area with lots of farmland and small towns. I have just met 2 other child-free people by choice. Do you think that most child-free people live in more urban areas? I would think probably, although I have been told in the southern US states that there are not a lot of child-free people. That's kind of frowned upon. And then I have people message me from California and say, we don't have any problem making child-free friends because there's tons of child-free people in California. Also, that's probably kind of a different lifestyle than living in the South. Curious about your career, what do you do for a living? I am a physical therapist. I did that for many years, and I say did that because I am actually no longer doing that. And so then the question is always like, well, what are you doing, Hannah? I don't know exactly what I'm doing. And that's really actually kind of uncomfortable for me to say because I'm always someone that's like very organized and I have everything planned out. Remnants of a cat hair. So yeah, I'll just get back to you guys when I know what's going on in my own life. When did you know that you wanted to be child-free and that it was a valid choice? I knew that I did not want kids when I was about 14 or 15. That is when I first started verbalizing it. I don't really know if I ever had an epiphany moment where I was like, oh, this is a valid choice and I can live this way if I want to. I just think that I made the choice. I guess it didn't really matter to me if other people didn't agree with me or didn't think it was valid. I was just like, it's my life and I get to choose how I want to live. And so I'm not gonna have any kids. What is a dream destination that you have not visited? Oh man, there are so many places I would love to go. Thailand, Japan, the Grand Canyon, because neither of us have ever seen it. Would love to just go and explore all of Europe. I think that would be just incredibly amazing. Oh, and I think it would be so amazing to go to the Maldives and stay in one of those little huts that's on the water. That just looks incredibly relaxing. Is there anything that you would like to get off your chest that you have not before? Yeah, it's been a year. We've spent a lot of money on things. Owning a house is great, but I feel like sometimes it's, once you start projects and start doing things, it's like never ending. But I mean, that's just part of owning a house, and I'm not complaining about owning a house. It's just, there's a bit of a learning curve and it can be very expensive. We painted several rooms in our house. We replaced our deck and the stairs. We're working at painting the fence. We're having some leaking issues with our hot water tank, so we were dealing with that. Then earlier this year, we had this like massive water leak at our house. So we had to talk to the city and figure out who had to pay for it. It was us. I feel like we've had a project year. How many siblings do you have and do they have children? I have 3 sisters. They all have kids. So my older sister has 3 kids, and then my next sister has 3 kids, and she may have more, I'm not sure. And then my younger sister has 2 kids. Michael has a brother and they have 2 kids. So we are auntie and uncle many times over. How many child-free family members or friends do you have? I have a couple of cousins that do not have children. And then we have one couple friend that is definitely never ever going to have kids. We don't really have a lot of child-free people that we hang out with. So that's why I'm so glad that you are part of this community. You guys are basically my child-free friends. So thank you for being here. Do you think that child-free people are better prepared for retirement? Since people with children may feel complacent and take it for granted that their adult children will be able to take care of them. I think maybe we think about retirement more and think about what it is that we have to do to prepare for retirement because there is no backup plan. And maybe it's not like that for every child-free couple, but I would say for Michael and I, we've definitely thought a lot about retirement and what that's going to look like, and we're doing things now to prepare for that time. I've only seen your new hair in your latest video. How often do you change your hair? I don't really change my hair that much. I'm kind of a creature of habit. I feel like I have trauma from a really bad haircut that I had, and I was growing out my short boy haircut for many years. So when my husband met me, it was shorter and blonde, and then I got extensions for my wedding, and then I went dark and I basically just let it grow, and I just get like the ends trimmed every few weeks. But then partway through the summer, I was kind of like, oh, I'm getting kind of bored with just having brown hair, so now it's got some blonde highlights in it. I'm not a super high maintenance girl. I kind of just like having things easy to take care of. Thank you for everything that you're doing. I'm so happy your channel is growing. I'm here from Chore With Me. Oh my goodness, I love it when I have like the original viewers still here. You guys, thank you so much for being here.